YouTube? It's your boy Jerome coming to you today with a review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 7, Episode 11, I believe, and it's titled Don't Mess with Texas. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so this episode picks up, actually didn't pick up anywhere. It started with Melissa, KARLIE, and Tokyo. They are all in Houston now. They flew from Atlanta to Houston, and Tokyo let us know that it was a quiet flight there, and on this bus ride, it's a quiet ride to wherever they're going. Because, you know, Tokyo's thing is she's still not over the way that KARLIE Red went about telling her about the double date that she had with Spice and Tobias. Tokyo's thing is that she feels like if KARLIE was her friend, KARLIE should at least try to call her and tell her, hey, you know, I went on a date with Sean, and I invited Tokyo, and not Tokyo, but I invited Spice, and she brought Tobias as her plus, you know, as her date. And I 100% agree with Tokyo in that instance. KARLIE should have did that. And then KARLIE's whole thing is, you know, she did call Tokyo, but Tokyo didn't answer the phone. And then Tokyo was like, well, bitch, why can't you just send a, you know, a text message, a smoke signal, any kind of thing, just to let me know, instead of, you know, bringing it up in front of Sierra, which that's the whole thing with KARLIE. You know, Tokyo's thing is, it's better to tell her, you know, come to her house, call her, do whatever you got to do. Just don't bring it up in front of other people. And I completely 100%, you know, respect that. And then, you know, Melissa is talking to KARLIE and tell her that, you know, she needs to apologize to her. And Tokyo is like, she don't want an apology from KARLIE, which I'm with Tokyo on that. Like, she don't want an apology for her. And then, you know, KARLIE kind of half-asses apologized to her. And then, you know, Melissa's like, as your friend, that was real rude and all kind of stuff, which, you know, KARLIE was coming off rude. And I was here for Tokyo, you know, when she was telling her, you know, fuck her, she wanted her for that apology and all that stuff. I think KARLIE Red was only doing that in that situation because Melissa was telling her to apologize. Because I don't think KARLIE Red felt like she did anything wrong in that situation, but, you know, she did. And speaking of Melissa, has anybody, I mean, looking at her in that scene with that hair, she's like Reggie Warrington from Nutty Professor. I'm like, God damn, what the fuck is wrong with her head? Like, Melissa can't get it together this season, but, you know, moving on. All right, so then we get this scene with Just Barney and Tierra. They're in Houston, so Just Barney is going to get a grill since she's in Houston, and you know she's driving around in this nice ass car with the rims and all that kind of stuff on it. And I was sitting there dying laughing. I'm like, really, bitch? You in Houston? You driving around in this car, and Mona still ain't playing your fucking music? Like, that is trash as fuck. So, like I said, Tierra and Just Brittany are both in Houston, and they're meeting up with each other. So when they meet up with each other, Tierra decides that she wants to bring that whole Jasmine along, and you know, I was here for Just Brittany, and this is the first time that I'm actually saying that I'm here for her, because Just Brittany's whole thing was, you know, when she extended the invite to Tierra to come to Houston to see her perform at Rashida's after party of her grand opening of Press in Houston, she specifically said that this invitation is just for you and you only, because when they were back in Atlanta, you know, Tierra was trying to tell her about, you know, that would be probably a good opportunity for Jasmine to sit down and have a talk with Rashida. And I don't, like, what the fuck is Tierra doing? Like, this ain't got shit to do with you. Like, mind your fucking business, girl. Worry about Scrap trying to get out of jail and all that kind of shit, instead of sitting here trying to put your nose in somebody else's business that ain't got shit to do with you. Like, it's ignorant, it's stupid, it's really stupid as fuck. So, you know, Just Brittany sits down and talks to Jasmine, and Jasmine's whole thing again is that she just wants to sit down and apologize to Rashida. And, you know, nothing's wrong with her wanting to apologize to Rashida. That's okay. But Rashida has to be receptive of you apologizing to her. So you popping up everywhere that Rashida is really stupid. If the woman don't want to see you, the woman doesn't want to see you. Give her time to say, hey, let me reach out to this girl and, you know, have a conversation with her, and then go from there. But instead you want to be super saver hoe. Well, actually Tierra wants to be super saver hoe and bring this bitch, do pop-ups with the bitch. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, and I was actually here for Just Brittany when she was saying, you know, there's a time and a place for everything that you want to do. Like, Rashida's grand opening was not the time or the place for Jasmine to pop up and try to have a conversation with her. Like, wait till you get back to Atlanta, you know, just figure out some kind of way to talk to the woman. Like, stop trying to do it at public events where there's cameras and all that kind of shit. You know, I think that's what Jasmine's whole thing is. It feels, to me, it just feels like she wants to do this in front of the cameras to try to redeem herself. But it ain't no redeeming yourself. You slept with a married man. You got pregnant with a married man. It ain't like you slipped and fell on his dick. You willingly had sex with Kirk, and I don't feel bad for her at all. Like, I'm not taking the blame away from Kirk, but at the same time, it takes two to tango, and you know what you was doing when you slept with him, so it is what it is. And you slept with him without a condom. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, that's just some foul ass shit. All right, so next we get this scene with Mimi and Sierra. They're actually having brunch or something like that. I can't remember which one it was, but you know they're talking about you know, everything that's going on with them. And then this whole brunch was to bring together Spice and Tokyo so that they could clear the air. And which I was kind of confused when they said, you know, trying to clear the air. Like, Tokyo has never met Spice and Spice has never met Tokyo, so I was really confused by that whole situation. But you know, for the sake of the cameras, put those two together and talk about the Tobias situation. So you get Spice coming there and she sits down, and then you get Tokyo coming in, and you know, Sierra telling Tokyo, well, actually Mimi said, "Hi Tokyo," and then Spice is like, "That's Tokyo," and I'm sitting there looking at Spice like, you trying it, but okay, I see where you going, but you really trying it. Like, I'm gonna get there in a little bit, but so Tokyo sits down, and you know, Sierra tells her that, you know, they just want to clear the air. And Tokyo's whole thing is she doesn't know Spice, which is what I'm saying. Like, how can these two people have an issue with each other if they don't know each other, they've never met each other and stuff like that, you know? And then Spice is in her interview talking about, you know, that Tokyo has been going around town in Atlanta talking about her. And I'm like, talking about you? How? What did she said about you? And then, you know, they talking about eating and all that kind of, you know, what they're going to, you know, they came there just to eat and clear the air and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, Spice wants to make a fat joke about Tokyo, which I really, truly did not appreciate that at all, because it was completely uncalled for. Whatever the girl has said about you in Atlanta, it doesn't compare to you making a fat joke or her talking about, I don't think Tokyo wants to eat anything. And I was right there with Tokyo when she sized Spice up and down. Like, number one, Spice, you ugly as fuck. And number two, bitch, you ain't a size zero, and you two burgers away from being fat your damn self. So you can't sit there and talk about her not wanting to eat anything. And the thing that I was really trying to figure out with Spice was, where was the hostility coming from? I mean, just because Tokyo said that Tobias had posted her up on his Instagram, she got all up in her feelings and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, and then she gonna ask her, are they still together? And Tokyo didn't even answer that question. And I'm like, good for you, Tokyo. Like, ignore that bitch. Like, she, you know, going into this, when I actually liked Spice when she confronted Jasmine a few weeks ago. But this episode tonight, I'm done with Spice. Like, I don't even like that bitch. I want to buy her music. I want to do shit with for Spice. Like, fuck a Spice. I mean, like Tokyo said, fuck a Spice or Paprika. Like, get the fuck out of here. And, you know, so I was here for Tokyo when she got up and she was about to walk out. Well, pretend like she was about to walk out and threw her fucking purse at Spice. I was here for that shit. And then for Tokyo to be a big girl, like, that girl moved fast as fuck. Like, I was like, damn, there she go. And I really wanted the production to just let her haul off and beat this shit out of Spice, because I thought Spice had it coming. And even Mimi and Sierra were not on who are Spice's. Well, actually, they're both friends with Spice and Tokyo. But I was so happy that they were actually on Tokyo's side, because they said that Spice was provoking her, which she did. Spice provoked her when she, from the moment she walked in there, she didn't even get to sit down good before Spice started trying to provoke her and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, over Tobias, like Tokyo said, she did not have an issue with Spice. So I don't know where Spice was coming from. I was like really confused by that whole situation. But I was really happy that Tokyo threw that fucking purse at her, even if it missed her. I'm still happy she threw that fucking purse at her. And then when they were when security had Tokyo held down, did you see Spice took off her fucking shoes and tried to hit Tokyo with her shoes? I'm like, you, oh. That scene pissed me off really badly. But that was it for that one. Like I said, Tokyo, now I really did feel bad for Tokyo, because when production took her to the car, she was like, she don't want to be on this show fighting hoes and all that kind of stuff. She's trying to change herself, and I really do see that Tokyo was trying to be a bigger person, a better person, because throughout the whole time she wasn't even trying to, come at Spice in a wrong way. It was all on Spice. So moving on. Okay, so after the whole event that happened at brunch with Tokyo and what's that bitch name? Spice. Sierra decides to go to Tokyo's room and just talk to her because Sierra's whole thing is she felt bad for the whole situation that happened with Tokyo and Spice, and again, Sierra felt like that Spice was provoking Tokyo, which she was. Like, she was trying to fan shame the girl, and I just, like I said, I didn't appreciate that. Like, that was not called for. Like I said, Spice is 2 shakes, 1 burger, 3 fries, and 4 onion rings away from being fat her damn being Tokyo size. So it's like the pot calling the fucking kettle black. Like, look in the mirror, bitch. But it's so Tokyo decides that she is not actually going to go to Rashida's grand opening because she don't know how Spice is going to be. So she feel like it's better that she just doesn't come to avoid any conflict and let Rashida enjoy her day. And I really, really, really respect Tokyo for that, because it takes a big person to say, hey, you know what, me and this bitch had I fallen out. I don't want to go to this event and cause, a scene or nothing like that. I want Rashida to have her day and have fun and all that kind of stuff. So I really did respect Tokyo for that. And Tokyo actually this season has been one of my favorite people this whole season besides Jessica Dime. So I really do hope that next season Tokyo comes back, because I really, really enjoyed her this season. So, kudos to Tokyo. She's a good girl, and like I said, I hope to see her again next season. So moving on. So we get this scene with Mama D and Ernest. So Ernest is back home with Mama D. Mama D is in the bed and she's clinking on the glass to get Ernest's attention. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, here we go with the senior citizen porn again. Like, they gave me flashbacks to that season where Mama D and Ernest were in bed and Mama D was playing with Ernest's nipples. Like, that shit just like, oh, it repulses me. I don't even think about that. Ugh. Like, ugh. Ugh. That's nasty as fuck. But for once, she's not trying to have, well, she is making sexual innuendos at Ernest and all that kind of stuff. But, the thing with Mama D is, she's talking about how she's been doing her music and doing touring and all that kind of stuff. So she's talking about she's sore and she's just milking this whole having her surgery and all that kind of stuff thing to get Ernest to take care of her. So she let us know that she and Ernest are back together. They went to see their pastor, and Ernest said that he would get clean and he would come back home. So that's good. I'm glad that Ernest is back home with Mama D and he's off the drugs. So, because like I said a few weeks ago, somebody of his age getting on drugs at this time in his life, it would be hard for him to get off of it. So I'm really happy that he is back home and he is off the drugs. And he tells Mama, Mama D keeps clinking and clanking on that damn piece of glass that she got. And he tells her that he came back home not to be her servant or anything like that. He came back home to be her man, be her husband. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, just please don't get into bed with her and have sex with her. You can do that, but let production leave, because that's some shit of which we don't want to fucking see. But so Mama D is at Scrappy and Bambi's house with a construction crew. Looks like a construction crew. She is so they walk in and they're trying to figure out why all those people are parked in front of their house and all that kind of stuff. So they walk in and they see Mama D, with all that stuff on, talking about she's baby proofing the house and she's getting the nursery ready for them and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, but again, this is Mama D that we're talking about, but this is Bambi's first baby with Scrappy. Don't you think she wants to, build a nursery for her child herself? So, but again, like I said, it's Mama D who's extra as the fuck, but you gotta love Mama D. So, Bambi's whole thing with Mama D is, I think Bambi just wants Mama D to kind of take a little bit of a back seat to everything, because originally when Bambi found out she was pregnant, she wanted to keep it on the low. She didn't want a lot of people to know that she was pregnant, but Mama D, big mouth ass, she went and told Rashida and Tammy, and then she went and told KK. So again, like I said, Bambi's whole thing is, I think she just wants Mama D to just take a little bit of a backseat to this right about now. And then Mama D is telling them that she is back with Ernest and all that kind of stuff, and that's pretty much it for that one. Actually, I just saw on Instagram where Scrappy was in an accident this I don't know when the accident was, but send a shout out and a prayer to Scrappy, because I'm looking at his face and all that stuff. It was just swollen and all that kind of stuff. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, when I swiped over to one of the pictures, it looked like it was a bloody shirt. So I'm really happy that Scrappy is okay and alive. So get well soon, Scrappy. All right, so we get everybody is getting ready to get to Rashida's grand opening. So they all meet downstairs, and there was Jock downstairs, there was KARLIE and Sean and Estelita, and I don't forget who else was down there. But when Carla Red sees Jock, she decides to go up to him and hug him, because she still there. She sees Sean there, tongue twister. Like I said, she sees Sean there, and she goes up and hugs Jock. And I'm like, come on, KARLIE, you too old for this shit. Like, get the fuck out of here with this one. And I also saw on Instagram where Carly Rae got a new piece of DICK. I'm like, look like she found a new piece of DICK for season 8. Look at you, Carly. Girl, you always hopping from dick to dick to dick. But that's not my place or my business. But so they all get on separate buses. And, Sean's thing was, he doesn't really want to be around KARLIE because of the last time they were with each other. And he just doesn't see eye to eye with how KARLIE handles those things. Mainly her being messy as fuck. And so, I think on one bus it was Jock, Spice. Who else was on? It was Jock and Spice. It was KARLIE and Sierra. Is that correct? Nah. Who was on that bus? I know it was all women on that bus. And then on the other bus, you had Sean, you had Mimi. Don't quote me, because I don't remember who I was on the fucking bus. But I know on the one bus you had the girls, including Jock, and then on the other bus you had Sean with some other people. I fucking don't remember who was on that fucking bus. Damn, it's gonna bother the fuck out of me, and I didn't take notes about that. But so once they got through talking about the whole KARLIE and Sean thing, then they they talked about, boom, got it. Because it was Mimi and Sierra on the bus. It was Mimi, Sierra, BK, Sean, and who else am I missing? I think that might be it. You know what? Fuck the bus shit. I don't remember who was on the motherfuckers. All I remember was on the bus that Jock and KARLIE was on. Jock talking about he felt like he's a rebound for KARLIE. KARLIE was like, you know what? In order to be a rebound, we had to have sex. And they haven't had sex. But I think Jock wants to have sex with KARLIE. Who gives a fuck? So, like on the two buses collectively, they are talking about the Spice and the Tokyo situation. On a bus where Spice is with KARLIE Red, Spice wants to mention that, oh, the bitch threw the purse at me. Nah, bitch, she didn't throw a purse at you just for no fucking reason. The bitch threw the purse at you because you was antagonizing her, talking about her fucking weight. And then on the other bus with Sierra and Mimi is telling it how it really happened. The bitch was antagonizing Tokyo, and Tokyo got him through the motherfucking purse. I wish that person had knocked the dog shit out that bitch, for real. Like, swear to God, like, I just wish that person had knocked her fucking head out. Because just to mention that girl's weight, like, how you know that girl ain't sensitive about her weight? Like, you an insensitive ass old bitch. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. But moving on along. So they get to the party, and oh shit, excuse me. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Rewind, backtrack. KARLIE is on the bus, and she said she heard that they're not filming with Tommy right now, and everybody has this fake concern about Tommy and her drinking issues, but KK brought that shit up last season that Tommy has a drinking issue, and it was evident this year. Like, you could see that something was wrong with Tommy, but nobody wanted to say anything about it. The only people that have said anything about Tommy's drinking was KK and Spice this season. Although I might not like the bitch right now, but those are the only two people that have mentioned Tommy's drinking issues, and I respect those two for bringing it up. But everybody else, now that she's attacked production and all this kind of stuff, now y'all want to be concerned about this girl's drinking problem. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, get the entire fuck out of here with that shit. That's just fake ass fuck. If y'all were really concerned about that fucking girl, y'all would have done sat down with her a long time ago and said, yo, Tommy, I think something wrong. You know, you might want to cut down on the drinking and all that kind of stuff. Like with Mimi, you sitting there at the party at Rashida's thing when she invited y'all to Houston, you sat there and took notice to Tommy sitting there drinking down there at Hennessy and all that kind of stuff, and you didn't think to say nothing to her then. Like, miss me with the bullshit, but we'll move on from that. All right, so we are at Rashida's press grand opening, and you know, Kirk comes in and lets her know that the line is all the way down to the first floor. Which, damn, thinking about that Galleria mall, that's a big ass mall, and for a line to be wrapped down to the first floor, that's hella impressive. Cause like that's a big ass mall. So shout out to Rashida for that one. So you know, and I love the Galleria. Every time I go to Houston, that's the first place that I stop at is the Galleria. So the next time that I'm actually in Houston, I will stop in to, you know, see what the store looks like. Cause you know, no shade or nothing, but again, do people really shop at Preston, Atlanta? Because every time I see people that go to that store, they go there and they take pictures with Rashida. Because I have a friend that went to Atlanta a few years ago, and she went to the store and she took pictures with Rashida, but she never said that she bought anything from the store. So, you know, whatever. If it's making Rashida money, cool. If, you know, I mean, it has been making her money because the store is still open. So shout out to Rashida for that one. So you get everybody there at the party, and, you know, she asks, well, where's Tommy at? And then they all just tell her about, you know, everything that's happened, you know, when they got to Houston, that Stephanie Gill sat them down and told them that Tommy would not be filming with them, you know, until she gets everything together in her personal life. And, you know, so they move on from that. And then, you know, she takes notice that Tokyo is not there. And she asks, well, where's Tokyo? And then Mimi tells her that Tokyo decided not to come because of the whole situation that happened with her and Spice. And Spice got on my fucking nerves this whole episode because every time it was brought up about her situation with Tokyo, excuse me, she wanted to mention that the girl threw the fucking purse at her. But the girl didn't throw a purse at you for no fucking reason, you dumbass blockhead bitch. She threw her purse at you because you antagonized her. You were provoking her, you know, talking about her weight and all this kind of stuff. And I was actually 100% here for Mimi in this situation because Mimi said, you know, she didn't just throw the purse at you for no reason. You were sitting there provoking and attacking that girl, talking about her weight. So I was here for Mimi with that situation. So completely here for Mimi. That's gonna be like one of the only times you can probably gonna hear me say I'm here for Mimi. So moving on from that. Okay, and I also forgot to mention that, you know, when Mimi then were talking about the situation that happened with Spice and Tokyo to Rashida, you know, KARLIE really want to talk about, you know, there are certain situations where you need to be able to use your words. And then I was with Mimi like, girl, are you fucking joking? Like, you are the last person to talk about anybody using their words as many fights as you've had over the seasons. Specifically last season with Estelita, when you fought her for no motherfucking, you threw that fruit tray at her for no motherfucking reason. So again, pot, meat kettle, because you are, that was a contradiction, girls. Shut the entire fuck up. Moving on from that. All right, so we get the after party. You have just Barney who's there performing, and listen to that song. I wouldn't buy that shit on iTunes. Wouldn't listen to it on Apple Music. Wouldn't pay, you know, hear it on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, no shit like that, because it sounded trash as fuck and it sounded horrible. But she's up there singing her song. You got Erica Mena and you got Escalators out there in the crowd who are heckling her. And instead of just Barney being the artist that she is and actually just saying fuck them, I'm sitting here and sing my song and y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want to say. I'm not paying y'all any attention. She gives Erica what she wants, which was a response. She sits there and tells them, can they stop talking while she's performing? And I'm like, you just gave them exactly what they wanted. So once the performance is over, she goes down and she talks to Kirk and Rashida. She tells them thank you for having her perform. And, you know, I really wish they had got somebody else from Houston to perform other than her. Like, there are a lot of other artists out there. You got Zero out there. You got Slim Thug. You got Lil Flip. You got a lot of other people out there in Houston that sound a whole hell of a lot better than just Britney. But that's neither here nor there. So once she finished her performance and she thanks them, she decides to leave because she doesn't want to be around in case any other shit happens. Mainly the Tiara and the Jasmine shit. So she dips out. and you get them all, you get everybody sitting down. So Sean says to Erica that he hears that she's working on music and all this kind of stuff, and that he wants to sit down. You know, he wants to work with her and all that kind of stuff. And then up walks KARLIE. So you know, when she sits down, Sean puts on his glasses because he really wasn't here for KARLIE. But then he decides to ask Jock, you know, how does he deal with that going forward, because Jock has been on the road with KARLIE where before. And then Spice decides to let him know, that when they were on the bus with each other, Jock was talking about how he wants KARLIE's puss and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, really? You gonna say this in front of her ex nigga? But okay. these people. And, that was pretty much it with that one. And then you also have BK and Sierra on the other side talking to each other. And I think Sierra finally put it together that BK is just like Shooter, a typical fuck nigga that ain't good for shit. And she's while she's talking, in walks Tokyo, and she's talking to BK and telling him, she's talking to BK about Amber and that other girl. I forgot what the fuck her name was. And BK's whole thing is, he doesn't want to discuss that in front of everybody. He wants to have a private conversation with Sierra about it. But I'm kind of here for Sierra, like, girl, stand up for yourself. You are proving that nigga ain't good for shit. So say fuck him and leave him alone. But he feel like, if he can get Sierra alone, that he can get her back on his side. I'm like, kind of hoping not. But, Sierra does prove to herself to be a complete fucking idiot. But hopefully she's not that stupid to fall for your bullshit. And then, like I said, Tokyo shows up. And Tokyo's whole thing was, she missed the grand opening, but she wasn't gonna let the bitch keep her from going out, to the after party. And I'm like, good for you, Tokyo. Don't let that old busted ass, ugly ass, Tu Wong Fu looking ass bitch keep you from having fun. Go to the party and say fuck her. So after, once that's all said and done, we get Tiara and Jasmine showing up to talk to Rashida. My whole thing with Tiara is like, girl, what the fuck does this have to do with you? Like, your friend did not slip and fall on Kirk's dick and have a baby with him. She willingly slept with a married man, knowing he was married and knowing who he was married to. So, once Rashida sees Jasmine, she was like, why is she here? And then Kirk asked her, why is she there? And then, she's talking about how Kirk ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's all fine and dandy. If Kirk is not doing what he's supposed to be doing for their son, you sit down and have a conversation with Kirk, not Kirk and Rashida, because that's not her son. That's your son with Kirk. But, Rashida tells Kirk that go sit down so that she and Jasmine can have a conversation. And I was with Erica Mena on this one when she was talking about she would have killed the bitch wouldn't be standing in front of my face. That bitch would be dead. And I'm with Erica Mena. The bitch would be dead, or the bitch would be picking up her teeth off the fucking ground if she comes up to me trying to talk to me. She would be picking up her teeth, her boobs would be deflated, and their wig would be all over the place. Because my whole thing is, again, you slept with Kirk. You knew he was married when you slept with him. And I'm not trying to place blame on her, but they were both equally wrong in the situation. But you knew he was married. It's not like you ain't, it's not like you've never probably watched Love and Hip Hop. You knew who they were. That's the only reason why I can't really feel bad for her. And she's talking about she's not that type of person, but you are the type of person. And then I was so here for Rashida, because Rashida did this in a classy way. She didn't go off on her. She didn't call her no bitches. She didn't call her no hoes like I probably would have did. Rashida was classy with this. And, she let her apologize to her. But, Rashida just let it be known that she don't rock with her like, she ain't gonna rock with her like that. And she don't appreciate the way that she's done some things, like mainly showing up at her store, talking to her mom and her stepdaughter. But Jasmine's whole thing was she was trying to apologize to Rashida. Like, I get that you're trying to apologize to the woman, but you gotta let her come to you and have a conversation with you. You can't keep popping up on this woman. If she doesn't want to talk to you, she doesn't want to talk to you, and you gotta let it be. But, Rashida's whole thing was, she didn't appreciate the way Jasmine has done things. Mainly her talking to the blogs and all that kind of stuff, and then her posting her son on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Like, Jasmine is, you can clearly tell the little girl is young and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, once again, I was here for how Rashida handled that situation, because it could have went a different way if it was a different type of woman. But Rashida handled herself perfectly in that situation. So that was Love and Hip Hop. leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later for Basketball Wives.